Brogan a fine third there. Glennie Richards fourth, Howard Whitby in fifth, Chris Vermeulen, Kirk McCarthy seventh, and Stuart Wickens in eighth place. So a big upset there with Kirk McCarthy only seventh. Big Jack then gives Little Jim a hug for a job well done. Claire's with the third place Scouser.
I'm quite happy. I'd just first of all like to say a big thanks for the Castle Honda team for giving me this opportunity this weekend. The team have all worked mega. Have been trying 110% as always, but it just shows what machinery can do for the change.
The problem with Jim is he's such a good rider. He's on a good package that you've got to get away with him. If you don't get away with him at the beginning, it's all over. And I could maintain the gap. I could hold it there and close it a little at times, but I just couldn't make up for the bad start really.
Well, Jim Moody, fantastic start, fantastic performance, and what a fantastic smile.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, that means as much to me doing it here as it did in Brands Hatch last week. And I've been determined all weekend, and I thought the rain would play a big part in it because I didn't do any testing yesterday, and I was definitely concerned I was going to come unstuck. But fortunately, it dried just enough for me to stay with my dry setup, and everything worked perfect.
Jim seems happy, and that's why. Look at the lead he now has over McCarthy in second place. Dean Thomas a long way back in third. Then it's Glennie Richards, Howard Whitby, Chris Vermeulen, Steve Brogan and Scott Smart. A hugely popular Scottish win at Knockhill. And believe me when I say, Jim Moody knows how to party. The sun is out and the corks pop. The fans are about to get another shower at Knockhill though, this time with champagne. It seems the only way they can beat Jim Moody at the moment is gang up on him. Even then, they'd have a job to sort him out. A Scottish win, and the fans are demanding another. Can three-times former British champion Neil Mackenzie convert pole position in the Superbike's second outing? Find out what happens in race 16 of the 24-race series next. The sun finally shone in Scotland, and the huge crowd began drying out. Despite this year being a long way from over, the teams are planning next year already. If INS Ducati move to World Superbikes, who will fill the void in the domestic series? It seems there are a couple of serious takers. One team hoping to make a move is the already high-profile Superstock Championship leaders, Team O2 Plus, Page3.com Yamaha, of Matt Llewellyn and David Jeffries. Team principal Tim Ford is confident.
We are going to Superbike racing next year and looking forward to it.
Matt and DJ on board?
I hope so. Again, it's a silly season, isn't it? And we're in negotiations with both of them, and we'd like to keep the same lineup. We always promised them a Superbike ride and a full season at Superbike, and as far as I'm concerned, we want to keep our promise on that side.
And then there's the D&E Supersport Ducati squad of Dean Thomas and Scott Smart hoping to do the same, and they've worked support.
The way Ducati see it basically is they'd like us to move it to British Superbikes with a reason basically to feel that if we find decent riders we can feed them through to World Superbike, hopefully to INS or whoever Ducati feel would be the main team over there.
Hell of a compliment for the work you've been doing.
Yeah, I must admit I'm quite proud of that, but you know the Ducati family, they create a family, and the idea being we are now, let's say, one of the nephews or sons of Ducati, and that's how it's going to be.
Talking of families, what's going to happen to Neil Mackenzie for next year, we wonder. Mackenzie, though, at the moment is on pole from Chris Walker, James Hayden and Neil Hodgson, holding his end up pretty well, I'd say. Row 2, Reynolds, Crawford, Plater and Crockford. John Crockford easing out 4 works bikes onto row 3, Emmett, Rutter, Young and Brown. Then we've got Davey Wood, Tom Kipp, David Hill and Gordon Blackley on row 4.
Well, it was great to see the RSS boys up there on the podium in that last race. The wet weather specialists aren't going to get a chance to shine in this race. Conditions couldn't be any more different from race 1. The sun is actually threatening to come out. Well, John Reynolds managed to salvage 11 points in that last race. John, you must have been very disappointed because you obviously came off, you were in a good position, but superhuman effort. You picked up the Ducati and you got on with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with that, of course. I thought as soon as the bike crashed and usually the engine stops, and lucky enough I was managed to be able to keep the engine running and remounted although I'd snapped the back brake off, I struggled for 2 or 3 laps, but then got back in the groove and ended up with 5th. And yeah, that was a bonus really. I mean, I should have been finished in the gravel, and that was hard.
Okay, well, we'll wish you the best of luck this time. Hopefully you get a good start. Good luck, John. Well, of course, it is all about points, and John Reynolds just picked up 11 there. Neil Mackenzie had a brilliant last lap on the last round. The crowd will be hoping that he can pick up some more points. He had a bit of a problem with the back marker in the last race, narrowly missed a podium place. Of course, what can you say about Chris Walker? Absolutely superb performance in the last race. One guy who also had a superb performance, but your heart has really got to go out to him. Such bad luck for James Hayden. James, it was incredible bad luck for you. You were doing so well. What happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, I just went down, and where the cars bottom out coming out the chicane, there's a load of alloy, and it's just very slippy there, and just must have been a bit too early on the throttle, and down I went. So I was very disappointed myself.
Of course, it's a bit of a superhuman effort for you to even be here today. We know what kind of pain you're going through. What's the score with that? How are you feeling?
Well, in the first one, it wasn't that bad. I think with just because the braking forces and everything so much less, you know, it was hurting, but it was kind of manageable. So you know, it was a good chance to score good points for me. So for the second one, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'll do my best I can.
Okay, James. Well, we have our fingers crossed for you. We want to see you smiling again. We want to see you on that podium. You've got a good start. Okay, well, the points have changed quite dramatically in that last race. Of course, we've got Neil Hodgson, who didn't particularly have a good race in that last one. Neil, you weren't too happy with that last race, were you?
No, not really, but I'm going to make up for it now.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. Leave Neil there to focus attention on that first corner. It is all about points. And now, between Hodgson, Reynolds and Walker, there is only 6 points. Well, this race, it could all change.
The master of understatement there. There is the man with the most to do here at Knockhill today. It's Neil Mackenzie on pole again. This time he's got a dry track under him to try for it, but Walker was beaten by Hayden in race 1 today, down to turn 1, and that is a sight I didn't think I'd see in a straight shootout off the line. Hayden is still there in 3rd place. 4 is Hodgson to the left of your screen. They come under starters' orders now. It's going to be down to the start. We've heard from all the riders just how crucial that is. Walker hardly ever misses one. Neil Mackenzie hardly ever gets a good one. Here we go again then. Part 2 Knockhill. Hodgson and Walker side by side down to turn 1. It's Walker! No, it's not! He's been beaten 2 races running by 2 different riders. This time it's Hodgson that comes out of the traps hanging.
Oh, look at Neil
Mackenzie there as well. Yeah, which Neil? Oh, dear me, that was a better start indeed. So all over the back of Hodgson, it's look at Walker. He's riding brilliant.
Yes, the odds are against them. There hasn't been a double win in the championship this year.
No, indeed, and that was the first wet race we had this morning as well. So there we go then, the horizon of Knockhill, looking out to the 4th bridge. Hodgson really has come out of the traps determined this time to make sure that Walker doesn't make it that double. And in 3rd place, Mackenzie backing him up ably. Then, yep, it is Hayden, I think.
It is Hayden in front of Reynolds, Keith.
Yeah, Reynolds almost got him. Let's take another look at the start then. This is Mackenzie. Let's hope he's a lot better than the first. Well, we know it's a lot better. Goes under the bridge then, down towards Duffer Stiff. There is the ever stalker. Following him through is Hayden. Hodgson up the inside to Duff as well. Hayden just smudged our view of it. Oh, dear me, that was a good one. Down into McIntyre's now, and up the inside goes Mackenzie, right up towards Chris Walker. Great stuff, Neil Mackenzie. Well, no indication of any kind of retirement. There's sparks flying off at knee sliders as we go over the chicane. Great stuff then. Hodgson leads, Walker 2nd, Mackenzie 3rd, Hayden in 4th place. 5th is Reynolds with John Crawford. A better start from him too. Another Scott on the National Suzuki, that is in 6th place.
Well, the story of the year so far at the front, but Neil Mackenzie looking ominous for the prospects of Hodgson and the stalker.
Did you see Walker with it all crossed up as they came through Clark Curve there? This is going to be scary, and facing his wheels were pointing in the wrong direction. Hodgson, they didn't touch the ground till he got about halfway round this corner. Down then into the braking area. Here comes Mackenzie looking for the inside line on Walker. That'll be good. Oh, wow. He nearly singed his eyebrows.
Yeah,
He's coming out the exhaust of the Suzuki.
Great onboard shots.
Up and over the hill then. Yeah, on board. It'll be literally in a minute. If he gets any closer than that, he will be on board with Walker.
Are we going to go Duffer Stip coming up? I thought we were going to get an onboard from Neil for a minute, but Hodgson just starting to eke out a small lead over the stalker and Neil Mackenzie.
Well, how long will that last? It's all about tyres, Julian. What tyres will they have chosen for this dry race?
The wrong
ones. Mackenzie. I was too early on to make that decision yet, Jules. I think that was just Mackenzie being a bit over enthusiastic with the right arm.
It was my feeble attempt at humour. But he's got.
I wouldn't point that out this time. Through Clark Curve then, onto Railway Bend. This is the long left-hander.